Welcome back, everyone, to our next podcast, which is Navigating Growth with Arora, where we thrive. Please welcome Soha.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Soha is a seasoned expert with over 24 years of experience in media, broadcasting, branding, communication, PR, marketing, and is renowned for her dynamic approach and commitment to drive excellence. So, please welcome on stage. Say something
you.
about your journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me today, and thank you for hosting me. I'm so honored and so blessed, and it makes me feel very happy.
Thank you so much. So, topic of the day is about resilience in communication during a tough time in a crisis and how it would be easy for anyone to come out.
100%. Well, let me start with the definition of resilience. Resilience has always been a very important skill that we've needed to acquire since we were young. But it's the use of the word or this terminology now has become more and more. And this is why I feel there's an urgency to make it quite clear for everyone. Resilience is the ability to actually stand your position and overcome obstacles and setbacks and challenges in life. And it is 100% connected to communication. Actually, everything in life is connected to communication. The way we communicate with self is very important. The way we communicate with others is very important. And it shows how resilient are we in our responses to those people that we interact with. It is connected to a specific part of communication, which because you would only know that person is resilient or not throughout challenges, problems, issues are occurring on the ground. So what happens is there's always a way to actually communicate throughout crisis. I see people that panic. I see people that faint. I see people screaming. I see when it comes to a personal matter or something, and I see different reactions. And you see some people who are composed and they take a moment to feel what's happening, to pinpoint the exact problem, to acknowledge the problem, to understand it, to understand everything that is the environment. Why did it occur? I see people that learn from these. They look at it positively and they learn from these problems and challenges. And I see people who are very transparent with themselves. Because no, that was not my mistake. I see people throwing the blame on others and playing that monkey's game, which is not right. Because and I see others who are very, I did that's a normal consequence. This is the acknowledgement phase and understanding, okay, this is phase number one of solving that problem. Empathy is also important through the entire process and staying positive. Do not panic. What happened has happened. Now it's time to solve, not to throw the monkeys and not to panic and scream and faint. Solve it. This is when I see that kind of reaction coming out of a person, I would go like, that's a resilient person. He can adapt to whatever scenario, staying composed, understanding his emotions, understanding the resources, and he can come up with whatever solution on the spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, in addition to your point, what she said is it's absolutely phenomenal. A person has to be calm and composed and understand the assess the situation, what he has been going through, and then based on he can predict how he would like to see himself, maybe for the day or maybe the vision that he is creating or he or she is creating. So it's very well said, understanding the awareness of their own and then try to improvise according to the situation. That's where it is the first step of becoming a resilient. And the resilient is all about how you push back yourself no matter what happened to you. You're broken and then you are back with double the enthusiasm and the motivation. And then
And let me ask you here, Nitin, if they're not resilient, what other options do they have? If they decided to fall apart, quit, or withdraw, or whatever, and then
is I think the person has no option. Either he or she has to live with the regrets, or later on say, "Oh my God, I should have done this because I had an option to change, to
correct.
be myself, to do what I felt like, but I did not choose that option. And I am going to be in that situation because I didn't change. Because sometimes, we change as per the situation, and that's where that situation make us so resilient and make you a better person.
That's very true. So going back, quoting you on the only option is to live with regret. Is that going to be a way to live? Is this how we want to live? So
Absolutely not.
absolutely not. So we do not have options these days except being resilient. I know it is hard because some people still do not have that control over their emotions, but once they understand, they have that kind of self-awareness, because we know everything around us, or we think we know everything around us, we know everyone, we can easily judge anyone. But when I tell you what you think of yourself, you go like, and you try to find the neatest, most beautiful words to describe yourself. But the truth is, you don't know you.
Yeah.
This is very important. If I know me, my trigger points, things, the red buttons that I don't want anyone to actually press on, pretty much you're going to avoid these kind of challenges that comes out of your own interaction with people. And then later on in life, we all face challenges.
Yeah.
But challenges is the only catalyst that makes you a different person, makes you an entrepreneur or a failure, makes you a strong or a weak person, makes you different. And it's the only way we'll learn in life. It's the only way. There's no, I mean, if I did not, without problems, there will be no inventions. I cannot drink water this way.
Yeah.
Let's do bottled water. So that came. I cannot keep carrying my brother who's paralyzed. Then we have the chair wheel. I mean,
Yeah.
every problem or obstacles, human beings' mind is already designed, fully designed to overcome that. So we need to just keep the switch on. Don't switch it off. Don't switch it off. Be open.
Yeah.
We can face anything. Know how to act and move and come up with the basic instructions of masks and stuff. And then later on, understanding what is it, how to deal with it, how can we interact. It's life.
Yeah. So it often says that be yourself, be transparent about you. Don't try to, think what people think of you. You come up with any kind of fancy words, and that makes you a little bit of nervous until unless if you're not be yourself, if you're not who you are, and you're just trying to quote in the society what they feel like about
Correct.
you, and that's where you are lacking yourself.
But
So I think very well she explained about being transparent, be yourself, and that's where you know what you want from this world, from this universe, and that's where you will be vibrating in the frequency that you have visualized. This is what you want to you be with any of the person and connect, and that's how you are creating your own world and you are getting more opportunities.
that's very true. I want to go back to being transparent. I can hear some of the audience saying, being transparent about what? That's a challenge I face. Being transparent about your mistakes, admit your mistakes, say it out loud. I've done this mistake. I apologize. And I know what to do next. And it's okay to do mistakes because we're human beings and we err. That's normal. So, yes, we need to be very transparent. And I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, very well said. So I've got few questions to ask. I mean, I prepared some of the questions. So what role of leadership in crisis communication?
Communication is the main role. Any leader is a leader during hard times. If things are fine and everything is amazing and there's no fights, no grudges, the life is pinky, so there's no problem. The way we communicate normally, but the way we communicate throughout the crisis or the challenges or the setbacks defines and entails the kind of character you actually want to display to the people you're communicating with. It is very important to understand that, again, communication is very important. So clarity is very important. If I'm a leader and there is a crisis and I can see, because I'm a visionary person and I have to drive the entire boat or ship and I have people that might sink, I need to talk to them clearly, be very honest, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening.
Yeah.
And I need to understand and contain the heat of different emotions because people are not the same. So I need to empathize with all the amount of different emotions coming from different people in that crisis because I'm the leader. So
Yeah.
some people are going to faint, some people are going to scream, some people are going to die. A lot of things I need to deal with along with the actual problem. I need to stay focused on the main problem. And I need to dissect it and make it into smaller pieces. And every group of people within the organization, they need to cater for that particular part. Because on my own, I'm not going to be able to do everything, but I can facilitate. I make it small. You know what? You don't worry about the entire thing. Just do this. And you don't worry about that. And do this. If everyone done his part perfectly, it's not going to be that big.
Wow.
It's just going to
Excellent.
be collectively accumulating that effort or that work from everyone that has been
So
working on it. It's going to be solved.
absolutely. I mean, in order to summarize, it's leadership. It's like she explained that the facilitation of learning. Every time, leader come up with the situation and they try to work themselves and try to become a better leader. And the best part she said about leader is only a leader when they know what is a tough situation. If he knows about, and he's reacting on the soft situation or even easy situation, he doesn't know what to do, or she doesn't know, how to react in a complex situation. Because leadership is all about when you got some tough situation, how you're reacting, and on the other hand, becoming more calm and composed, and in a critical way of thinking, coming up with a great resolution in order to calm the situation and bring out the best.
Being the father of those people, I recall back, if you recall your father or something, can he panic in front of you? If he lost his job, would he ever show you that he doesn't have money to pay for his school fees? This is leadership. Because for him, it's easy to be part of the problem and share that with me. He didn't do that. He mitigated the risk. He probably sold you the idea, what about going to a new school, which is less cheaper, for example? But he did not give you the problem as a problem because for you as a kid, you're going to feel, I'm not going to see my friends or go to school. I'm not. But for him, there's a new school for smart kids like you again, communicating the problem that you have foreseen to the people using, because that's a new target segmentation for you, using the exact vocabulary that fits their mentality is key success.
Yes. Leveraging media during a crisis.
Well, I'm old, but media was not that important long ago.
Okay.
So back in 1990, 1991, 1992, television and radio was the best and the maximum thing. Today, everyone is a reporter. Everyone that has a mobile in his hand is actually a reporter. You're in the street and this building collapses live right away. I'm here in front of this building in that city and this is happening right now live, and then you're an actual reporter. Communication is a process. And why do we say it's a process? Because it starts with a sender. There is a receiver, and I choose a message and a specific channel to send that message across to that sender, wait for the feedback, and this entirely happens within an environment.
Okay.
It is very important to understand how this process goes because everyone thinks it's a one way. I'm the boss, you listen. That's it. No, I need to listen back. As long as I have, I leverage the ability and say things, I need to listen back to you and understand your feedback because it's a learning process as well. I need to at least ensure that my message came across perfectly. So media now is a huge, powerful resource that everyone is using to impact and to affect in the community and sort of direct people's perspective towards specific things. So, and you can see that with the AI rising also, because you can see that in the Instagram, for example. There's that ad about shoes.
Yeah.
Do you like the shoes? And then suddenly the entire advertisement on the Insta became for shoes because it was able to predict that you have that kind of desire and you're interested to buy a shoes at that particular time. So communication now is even not only in human communication, it's the AI and collecting the data and analyzing it and the needs for the consumer and the customers has totally changed. It is crazy, but we need to be aware of all these things. So media is important, but I wouldn't say it's as important as interacting one to one. It is important, but again, choosing the right channel.
Yes,
That's
choosing the
most
right
important.
channel, and it's always starts with two-way communication rather than, think of
Yeah,
single-way communication. And also, she explained a very beautiful thing about the Instagram, how they, reach back to us. It's about the advertisement. That's how they are so
correct.
powerful. They,
Correct.
come up with all the demographic
Yes.
information,
And they're creating a
location,
need. They're
and
creating a need that they're not
needs.
only selling products.
Yes.
Sometimes you're just home and you're bored, you're doing that. Oh, you know what? I might buy this.
So,
Even though I have something similar, but they're creating that kind of need from the way they communicate. They're tempting you
so they're
to buy and for
tempting you.
you
They
to
play with the
they play with
psychology
your
of the
mind
people, and
100%.
that's where, they build the medium. Okay, let's.
Yeah, everyone is holding a mobile. They
Yes.
spend around 8 to 10 hours
Mhm.
minimum per day. So why not put all the messages there? You can check your news, you
Yeah.
can check your stock, you can check your
XYZ,
banking,
whatever the information. Yeah,
everything.
everything is available, on the single
It's a very
phone.
good
Yeah.
medium. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we need to just take care and validate every message that we get from there. That everyone says anything is being honest. We need to validate. We have Google, we have friends, we have books, we have so many other resources
Mhm.
because we're not recipients only. We have brains and we need to analyze and filter what's being said to us. That's very important.
Yes, absolutely. So my last questions about being resilient is long-term lesson from the crisis communication.
Long life lesson. Well, since we live in this era, man, and everything has become quite a crisis, I would I would say stay composed, guys. Stay composed because the only way we can think clearly is when we sit alone and we have a positive self-talk and understand what is really truly happening around us. The panicking and trying to ask people and find a support system and these kind of things, that all sort of uh, make your effort go in various ways where you need to focus it in one direction. I need to understand what is the main issue, what is the root cause of that problem, and how can I fix it from
Wow.
here. So just stay
That
composed and think
that's the
really
most
positive.
phenomenal thing that I've ever heard. It's you don't need anyone. You just need you.
Yes.
When you are in tough situations, just ask question to yourself. Do the self-talk. It's one of the invincible thing that you could do in order to change life. Talking to yourself in front of the mirror and asking five whys, why you are into that situation,
And
and just come up with the answer. What it makes you to get out of that situation and what makes you to happy.
100%.
Right?
It's also important to believe in your self ability.
Absolutely.
You always say, I can, I can, I can. You're going to be able to do whatever. Have faith in God, do what is necessary to be done with whatever resources. I don't have this in order to do that. No, do whatever you can with whatever resources you have on ground and just do it.
It's like, challenging to the universe, saying that try me. Oh, you put me in that situation, take a motivation and just try to come out of that situation. That's where it makes you resilient in real life and as well as, the personal
Yeah.
life.
But trust me, Nitin, after what we've been through entirely, I'm talking about for the entire planet.
Yeah.
I think we're all resilient. We have a little bit of resilience right now. We've been through a lot, so do not worry. You don't have to study that or learn how to have an experience or go through a problem. We all, as human beings on Earth, were able to please gain a little bit more of resilience. It's part of our DNA. Now it's just popped to the surface. So don't worry, guys, you are resilient.
Yeah, unconsciously we don't know certain things, but we reacted in such a well way. And when we look back in that situation, that's where it stand out loud and say, "Oh my God, I did that. How come?" It's just that it's in your DNA, and that's
Correct.
where if you look little bit back, how your parents, how your inherit,
How did they
have,
do that?
how did they do that?
Yes. Yeah, and that's a wonder of a world. How did they do that? They were
It's just that
resilient.
sometimes, because of the technological development, we make ourselves so vulnerable that we need support from, some psychiatrists,
Agreed.
and we don't, question ourselves. We
That's
don't
very
ask
true.
things,
We don't challenge
we don't
ourselves.
challenge
We're very
ourselves.
reliant on technology, and that is not something I actually in favor of at all. It is very important to remember
Mm.
that we're very strong. The entire thing, even the technology that we're proud of right now, was built by human beings.
Yeah, it's just that we're sitting on the couch and waiting for some magical things to happen rather than coming out of the
It's
box.
here,
Yeah, everything is
here,
it's
and
here.
with your hand.
So I must
That's
say
what you
that
focus on.
mindset and 80% mindset
Yes,
makes a impactful thing in
yes.
order to be more resilient. And sometimes you yourself has a resilient capacity unconsciously. It's just that you need to unlock and show to yourself this is what you have got.
Thank you. That's very bright. I agree. It's amazing. This topic has always touched upon the heart of
Yeah,
me and everyone around me. And thank you for hosting me for that particular topic.
my pleasure.
Communication is key success, resilient, resilience, adaptability forever, forever. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So thank you very much, guys, for listening this podcast. And you can reach out to that lady Soha. She is so invincible in her expertise. And I mean, I'll put the link
Thank you, Nitin.
on the
Enough, enough.
LinkedIn.
Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Yeah.
Good day.